good evening, everybody. Let's wait up on something. Let's wait up. Topics are hot. There are so many topics. First and foremost, I want to know where you're watching from. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from this episode? I'm setting up internet here. I want to see. I want to see myself here. What's going on? What is going on? Are we there? Are we there? Hello. It's another episode here. We're gonna talk. Lynn Mori, how are you? How was the day? You wanna play chess? Are you enjoying Leonard's Hello Youngster? What's up? Are you good? Subscribe to the channel, bro. I just wanted 2 subscribers to get to 100 subscribers. Yeah, that's great. Hope everything is kicking well that side. How is Trump tariff taking you? Because the business world is crashing. Capitol Hill today was flooded with people protesting. Trump, Trump. He's keeping you busy with war in Middle East, so the tariffs can come into effect. It's horrible. Businesses are losing billions. Stock market outboard flow of cash. Ah, the dude is doing fine. I had a great time. I just need only 2 guys to subscribe here and make it 100 and like the video. That's all. Test my account. Jerry, what's up? Hi. Yesterday we had a very hot topic here about these women, British women, European women, pensioners going to Jamaica for holiday. They're calling it women diary. I was like, I have to talk about this topic. But now, today I realize we are facing deficit in terms of knowing how things works. Trump administration, people are rioting in Capitol Hills, nationwide protest. What's up, bro? That's good. Now, my question is, any business you do right now, as long as you have connection, it has connection with the China importation and American dollar, you are stuck. Tariffs will put you down. It's time to think. Because now Trump, Bianca, hi, Trump is pulling the American dollar back home and American resources back home. He wants to centralize everything. And these tariffs he's putting, they're going to affect what you do. Even this YouTube here you're watching is American corporation. If the YouTube has a license, or any social media platform that's American based has a license to operate in those countries hit by tariffs, expect fluctuation in income market flow. That's what is going on. Trump administration want a strong American economy. I wonder now, how are we going to talk about it? Trump is imposing tariffs, and some of the countries where he imposing tariffs on, he cannot even pronounce them properly. He doesn't even know where they exist. Like the other day, he was talking about Lesotho, a small country in Africa. How can Lesotho, he was saying Lesotho get American aid approximately worth 25 billion? What is in Lesotho? That's what he was asking. Now the question is, anything, even these clothes you wear, they come from China. Everything, the utensils in my house, everything I look around, it's all from China. And these tariffs, what's going to happen? That's the crazy question I'm asking. And nobody is bothering to answer me. You just look at these and then you just swipe and then say, no, none of my business. It's your business. Because the impact of tariffs, do you know what are the implications of tariffs? They make life unbearable. Yeah, that's why we are making our own currency, bro. Yes, I think India joined BRICS, Brazil, Russia, and I think South Africa and some other countries. Because these tariffs, it's something to do with the dollar. And dollar is the world exchange currency. You have to get through it to transact with the other person. What's the future? Where are we heading to? Do you know the implications of this? Because it's a shock. He just signed those executive orders and implemented them immediately. So countries that are affected by these tariffs, their supply chain, if they are sourcing from China, is very much affected. Things will become very expensive. There will be scarcity of commodities in the world market, particularly anything to do with China. Mr. Speak McQueen, can I speak Sisutu? Yeah, speak. Not white people's talk. Everybody is affected. I'm telling you, in your house, everything you have, even an indoor, even this something small to take cuticles, it's made in China. You won't tell me you can't mold plastic and cut iron and make this. We are so lazy. We are so lazy. Even matchbox, China. Categories in your house, everything. Show me anything made in Germany or made in England. You can't even afford it. So what's the future now? That small business we are running there, selling spare parts, cosmetics, distributing, aluminum foils, you know, categories, it's coming from China. Yes, Speed McQueen, hashtag the ARVs, scarcity of ARVs in Africa, even condoms, because these American companies, they're the ones that have been dishing these goodies. Now the dollar is not there anymore, so why it's crazy. I would like somebody from Zimbabwe to come online here telling me what I heard, whether it's true or not, that people who are in commercial sex workers industry, they are using baby socks as a protection. No condoms in, in the market. Protective gears are not there, the helmets, in short. 60% of Chinese foreign direct export is American market. Tariffs are there. So Chinese will start now outsourcing dollar indirectly from other markets because they still need the dollar to run the economy. America is a strong economy, and they know they're holding the balls. They're holding the ankh, and you will cry. You will cry. Whatever you are, in everything you do, that phone you're using, the next model of that phone is gonna be bloody expensive. So it's better you sustain the one you have. Me, I'm using P10, Huawei. It's an old phone, but it's reliable. It has all the features I want. The spares are easy to get. These craziness of I want a new phone, I want a new phone. Where to? Materialism consumption. Where is it taking you to? Credit after credit, all these, it's taking your money. It's not easy. If you think it's easy, you know it's not easy. It's not easy. The agenda is equity in trading, because it's like people have been coming to America economy, taking money, running home, you know. The next 4 years going to be very tough. You look at the store where you do the business. Maybe you are selling shoes, you're importing from Vietnam, from China. Then all of a sudden, you have the Trump implications. I'm not, and this guy, I think I'll block him. He's talking nonsense. He's asking questions that are not. Hey Leo, we need to know implications of Trump tariffs. Mortgage will be very expensive. People run away from long-term investment because there's no consistency. I know, Justin, you know what BRIC is? It's a southern bloc economic. They're trying to bypass the dollar to do the global trade at their own terms. Yeah, they even have their own bank. I think it has the headquarters in China, where they're borrowing money to each other. We are not going to scale down. What we need to do is to learn to moderate the economic fundamentals. You know, we try to bypass these tariffs. I don't understand how, because those businesses that are based in US to import things from China, it's a standstill right now. How many billions do you think Chinese market is getting from America? Because now America there's no manufacturing. Everything is outsourcing, outsourcing, outsourcing. In Africa, they're not manufacturing anything. In Europe, they're not manufacturing anything. It's all about China. So China took over the marketing. It took over the manufacturing muscle. Now everything you have is Chinese. It's Chinese, 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 Chinese. Yes, we slept. Communism worked. I want to know why American government is owing Chinese government so much money. The Great Recession of 2008, they had to borrow money from Chinese instead of printing. They wanted to print the dollar, they couldn't. So they had to borrow Chinese, all the dollars they had. Now look what's happening in America now. They own the farms, they own everything because America owes China. There are two key areas Trump doesn't want to touch. Taiwan, because of semiconductors. All the semiconductors that are used in mobile industry, aviation, satellite communication, any tech, microchips, they're coming from Taiwan. And Taiwan government refused to build those factories outside Taiwan. It's their hostage to the globe market. If today China invades Taiwan so that it can stop American aggression, definitely you know what will happen. There will be no innovation. Flights will stop flying. Military corporations will have scarcity. Everything will come to a standstill. Tech companies will not be able to proceed with the artificial intelligence and all those things because semiconductors are being manufactured and designed and in Taiwan. So Trump cannot put tariff on Taiwan. Then on the other side, we have Middle East. There's no way at any one given time Trump will impose tariffs to any country that is producing oil and energy. Middle East, he can't mess up. So my question is, what is your stance? Because now it's critical. Any country that is using dollar, you are incorporated to the American banking system. Sabumadi, your mom, or Visa company, MasterCard, they control the global financial transactions. So they know where transactions are occurring most because you allowed them to dominate. MasterCard knows how much money is in China on daily basis, whether you like it or not, because you are swiping those cards. So they're consolidating this database. So they know who's holding the dollar, where its economic muscle is. If you kick them out, then you give American government or American investors a blind eye. They will not know. But as long as these are global mighty companies, they will keep on having database about your transactions everywhere. They will have everything. It's not easy. There's a time you try to look dollar as if it's a dominant currency, and that would be the end of it. And now because you want to trade, you try to go to China, you can't get anything. Scarcity. Scarcity. When I look at South Africa, because 90% of investment in South Africa is American. Mining industry is American. Food industry, American companies. Clothing, American companies. Now with the tariffs, what's going to happen? Kata Mokoena, how are you? I want to know what's going to happen with these tariffs that are imposed everywhere. In the morning, I saw Singaporean Prime Minister going online and stating clearly Singapore is totally dependent on trade. Now tariffs are everywhere. What we gonna do? It's gonna be a very big problem. And you don't see this. There's some countries like Africa, in Africa, they are totally dependent on the US market for free goods entry to the US market. So that I'm not bricked up, buddy. I'm not. I'm just having an open talk. What I think should be done to bypass these tariffs because companies will not survive. Companies are not going to survive. Massive layoffs, supply chain disruptions because you have to clear with the tariffs. You have to know redesign your service. How are you going to rent the services to people? We got to understand where the future. If you don't understand where the future, then you don't know who you are or what you expect. I'm scratching my head every single day because I import a lot from China. I'm in direct line of affect, to be affected. iPhone spare parts. You're buying mic, a very small mic for 200. It's now, they're even saying they're not even sure. You call a supplier, you keep on calling, you're not getting the answer. Everybody is trying now to adjust. That company you work for, sooner or later you hear of layoffs. closing down branches. That's what is happening. Are you prepared? This is not a propaganda or conspiracy. It need to click in your head what's going on. Wake up every day thinking, what next? We are going to stay with these trade wars for long. It's not going to end. As long as Trump is in power, it's not going to end. So it's about you. What do you think? What do you think we're going to do to change this whole scenario the way it is? What are we going to do? Just tell me what you think. I just wanted to do 30 minutes video about Trump implications and why he will not touch pharmaceutical companies, because pharmaceutical companies, they play a very vital role, and he will not touch semiconductor companies and oil and energy producing countries. Now look what's happening in America. Protests. Who are these people protesting? These are people who owns companies that are multinational, companies that are employing people even beyond or outside USA. They are rioting. I'm not understanding what you're talking about. Subscribe to the channel first. People who are going to the Capitol here today, nationwide protest, they're the people who are owning businesses that have impact. Businesses they know they will not survive with these tariffs. Because something I was buying $5. This is a panic buddy. What do you mean by that? Make me understand what you mean by that. Something you're buying $5 in the next 3-4 months, if it has its origin from China, it either will be scarce from the shelves or you buy it triple price and you have to wait. That's how difficult things gonna be. Because we let Chinese 20 years ago to build manufacturing capacity to the level where it is today. So we are totally dependent on them. And they know worldwide. I'm not talking about here in America. I'm talking about worldwide. Even these human hairs, Nasmija Bila, hi. What are you talking about? Have you taken? What are you talking about? What's the solution? I don't want to have copyright issues with the music. I don't want to have copyright issues on my stream with the music playing. But it's fine. What's the future? If you give me a credible answer, I'll know we are speaking the same language. Everything you're buying right now is going to be expensive unless you're producing it in your own country. Strong mindset. How are you? We're talking about tariffs. You're in Denmark? Are you affected by these tariffs? Because when you look around in your house, all the tools you use, they're no longer made in Germany. It's made in China. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm used to you. You're a good buddy. We walk this journey together. Is Trump world affecting you where you are? Because tariffs are everywhere. You look around, you see, you have direct markets. There's some people, even these people who are doing online marketing, those who have online stores, everything must come from China. Then you have a warehouse, supply chain warehouse, logistics somewhere. Then you start doing this shipping, and shipping is done by these American companies. So how will this work? Because that's what the problem is. That's what the problem is. Spare parts are going to be scarce because before the American companies in America stretch out and build the capacity, a lot of money on import is being used, and that is how China is growing. Chad, what's going on? What is talking about? Where are you, Chad? Are you hit by these tariffs everywhere? People are stuck with. They're not understanding what's going on. Yeah, LA, there's a lot of Chinese people there. Chinese corporations, Chinese stores. Hey, Chinese businessmen. If you know you're a Chinese businessman and you're in America, and you're relying heavily on import from China to distribute it to the consumer market in America, close your shop and go back home. Yes, we're talking about tariff, bro. It's chaotic because we let Chinese people to own everything. Now look where we are. Tariffs, big problem in Europe, in America. African business don't even talk about them because they're now going to be out. Who mess up the economy in the first place? There are so many contributing factors. Now what Trump is trying to do is trying to centralize, is trying to streamline operations to save the dollar, to make America great. But the methods he is using are crazy. Chad, there are so many Chinese there in San Francisco, San Diego, in LA, Spokane, Ingo. They'll shut down. There are so many Chinese stores in America, business people, and their goods are coming from from China. Mindsets, but America did lend too much money out to the world. Yes, for the 6 decades. You said it was a project to dish out money from America without follow up. Hey, you must be rich, America. Now, those handouts are not there anymore. It's time for accountability and slashing down. There are some areas in Africa, in South Asia, in South America, without USAID, children will not eat. Without USAID, malnutrition will kick in. Without USAID, pest and diseases research institutions will shut down because local governments cannot be able to sustain that with their budgets. Those are countermeasures. There's a lot. There's a lot. Distribution of the protective gears. American. Vaccines distribution. Dental checkups, eye checkups, those clinics, those non-governmental small organization, micro organization you used to see in your area, they're smoked out because the funds they dried up. So who will fill in that gap? Time to wake up from the slumber. Time for national governments in each and every country to draft their policies and say, we can survive without America. So what do we need? I want to sleep. I want to sleep. I'll have continuation of this topic tomorrow morning. Because I think we need to understand what's going on. Those free dental clinics, eye clinic, cancer screening, they were all funded by America, especially in developing world. They are normal. Malnutrition, polio control. It was all about America. Now we no longer have the upper hand to say anything. I even saw the Irish Prime Minister going to beg Trump in the White House. Netanyahu, they're all running there. Moody was there. Macron was there. My guys, tell me what you think. Mindset, Chad, do you have a Chinese store around you? Because whenever you see a Chinese store, you must know it's import. It's import, nothing else. It's import to drive Chinese business and take the dollar home. Nothing else. Nothing else. In America, Chinese are everywhere. And they are legal. They have registered companies there. But they're importing from China. So I think China hit US with 40% tariff. Some goods 30%. Subscribe to the channel. I'm just squeezing myself here by the corner because I love, I love this. You know, when you become a critical thinker, sometimes what makes you happy is just drawings. or paintings. Something that if a child comes near you, you feel like a child. A child doesn't think much. A child, a child doesn't think much. A child, a child is satisfied as long as there's food and a place to sleep and it's not sick. But as they grow gradually, problem starts. Curiosity demands here and there. So my question is, what's the future? I'm defrosting some stuff here. So I want you to explain to me, are we going to break or what are we gonna do? If you tell me what we're gonna do, I'll be grateful. If you don't have the answer, then you need to attend economic forum on what next with this Trump agenda, which is crazy. People are suffering so much. If you combine that with the USAID problem, we are finished. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. Trump world, how is it taking you? Bro, I just want to know. How is this Trump world taking you? Because you won't survive. Your business won't survive. Wall Street, 2 point something trillion wiped out from the stock market. Wall Street, big, big crazy, mind. Pharmaceutical companies are crying, are begging. Market is fluctuating every single day. We are stuck. You know, I think we are sleeping. When it comes to semiconductor and tech, China is ahead of US. And that is why Hualan, the company that is producing the sophisticated radio frequency ICs, is based in, I think, in Silicon Valley. They say they're not going to sell certain microchips to Chinese companies because they don't want them to produce high resolution graphic machines that will enable them to facilitate and accelerate the implementation of AI because US is still sleeping. This trade war did not start yesterday. Since Trump took over last, he just came to finalize, and he's seeking that term, so we need to seek constitutional changes from the Congress. Hey, we want to change the constitution to vie for presidency for that term because his portfolio implementation needs long term. Question is, are you prepared? Me guys, I told you I'm prepared to live off the grid. Yes. To go and keep cows and goats in the village. Yes. I'll plant everything. I'll eat from my farmland where I'm farming. It will not be chaotic for me. Off the grid. There's this guy who is trading online on YouTube. He has 2 sheep that are pulling. I think they are pulling a self mobile house full of everything. I wish you can Google that guy. He's in America. If you Google the life of that guy, he stopped living that kind of life 4 years ago. He doesn't even have a phone. He lives good. He, his life doesn't need complications. You talk about tariffs, you talk about war in Middle East, war in Ukraine. He tells you, me, I'm okay. Why? It doesn't bother him. He doesn't pay those taxes. He doesn't have confusion. He's just living simple life, grazing his sheep, moving from one place to another, and sleeping inside that caravan. That's all. So are you going to survive with Trump? Because anxiety in business world is going to kill everybody. We don't know what to do. The fact is we don't know what to do. And when I ask you what next, you're not telling me what next. If you're opening up, like what Mindset said here, or Chad asked me, so who messed up the economy in the first place? But America did let too much money out to the world. Yes. Talking about how, yes. Oh yeah, we use a lot of money on import. Denmark doesn't manufacture. It doesn't. Denmark doesn't manufacture. It's totally dependent on Trump. It's totally dependent on Trump and China. Let's not talk about Greenland because that's another topic. But now we're talking about Trump and what is happening with the Trump tariffs. Because there, unless we are clever, we are not going to get it out. These people who are doing business and you are registered in America and you have access to American business credit, they'll ask you, are you importing from China? Are you aware of the tariffs? So they have to explain a lot of things now before they facilitate the funds for you to go to trade in China. It's chaotic. But anyway, we're gonna know what's going on as the time goes by. Let us be patient. Maybe we're gonna win. But the people who are advising the president or the presidency and stand on their foreign policy, Anthony Blinken was better. Even though he didn't achieve much in terms of diplomacy, but I think he was better. Anthony Blinken was better. You know, there are some policies, even in your own house or in your own company, you know they are going to cut you the wastage or they're going to cut you hassles of doing what you want to do. But you don't just implement them immediately. Yeah, you don't. And the reason why you don't uh, is because you 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 want first to test the water. You want to test the employees' evaluation. you know, their capability to adapt to what you really want to implement and implications thereafter. But you cannot just wake up as a CEO. You say, in my boardroom, we decided to do this and we really want to push it. And then the next morning, you come and put the policy in place, making it chaotic. That's what Trump is doing. I'm not saying that he's wrong. He's protecting America. But are the Americans aware of implications of these tariffs? That's my argument. And if you're doing business in America and you will totally rely on imports from China, because China is the world manufacturing center, are you going to navigate through these tariffs? Will you sustain the profit margin? Will you be expensive to your customers? Will your goods and services be affordable? And more, will you be consistency in supply chain? You know, all these things. How well prepared are you with what is coming? Personally, when I realize this, I'm not prepared. I'm not. I'm not prepared. You should make me prepared by contributing. We need to come together. It's a community forum. Can you have a meeting with the people around you tomorrow or tonight and start thinking about these tariffs? Because there are some people who are not even understanding what it's all about. This thing. I better tell you the truth. It's a one hour video and then I'm done, man. I'm not going to go build 1 hour. I have other stuff I want to do, but I just wanted to highlight one, two, three things concerning Trump and what it is. In the next 10 minutes, I'll be done. I think so. Tariff world is crazy. Anyway, these topics are supposed to be analyzed by economists or journalists who are in that field. But we are trying to enlighten our people through podcasts so they can do more research because we can't give you everything. We can't. We just highlight what we can. The little knowledge we have, just pour it out. And because we don't know everything, that's why we tell you text, share, let's know. So, if you know what I'm saying, do research. Make, call yourself a personal meeting in your heart. Then think. Go and try to figure out what it is all about Trump. There's some things he's doing. They're good. There's some things he's doing. He needs someone to advise him. Businesses are collapsing. Right now as we speak, in developing world, there's no polio vaccine. There's no those feeding programs in the rural part of Africa. Or even in America. Poverty is everywhere. Clinics they shut down in Africa. You know, nobody did a documentary about that. Because you said cut, it created chaos everywhere. People, you know, we need to wake up. Otherwise, we are sleeping. We need to wake up. Good night, my people.
Hello.
Chad asked me, so who messed up the economy in the first place? It's a previous governance. Who else?